Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the ABA Coffee in the Park. My name is Cam Milliken, and I am here with my co-host extraordinaire, Jennifer Herrick, the Executive Director of the Atchison Business Association. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Cam. How was your May long weekend?
It was awesome. I was out at the farm. I bought flowers. I planted flowers. I did all that kind of stuff.
Can I just say it was a little chilly, though?
I wore shorts on
Yesterday
Saturday,
was
and
so cold.
the hair on my legs was like standing straight up. It was like frozen. It was like unbelievable.
I think my tomato plants froze a little bit.
Do you think?
But you know what my problem is? I'm the gardener that does not listen.
Yeah.
I don't plant on the May long weekend. I do it before. It's my own fault.
Well, I got my marigolds.
Oh,
and
good.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
No, yeah. I got orange and yellow marigolds, and we planted them, and I put them out. And last night I was laying in bed going, "Are they gonna live?"
No, they will.
They'll live?
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
that's all
hardy.
I need to know. I feel good now. But yeah, that was it. So it was a good long weekend. You know, it's like your typical May long weekend.
Yes.
One May long weekend, I would like it to be like 30 degrees.
Right? Has it ever been?
Never in
I
the
don't
history
think
of
so.
mankind. It has never been 30 degrees on a May long week. Now, somebody's going to email and go, "I remember back in 1947, it was like 34. And then I'm going to feel dumb. But I'm just saying.
Recently, it has not.
No, it
been.
has. No. So, what else? Anything new you need to tell us or talk about? Or
Well, we had a fabulous Women in Leadership event last week.
You did.
We did.
Yeah.
It was great. It was sold out.
Sold
the
out.
energy in the room. The panelists were wonderful.
Were they?
It was such a great
I
event.
wouldn't know because I wasn't allowed to be there.
know.
But anyway, yeah, that's great. Yeah, good. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Me too.
And it's exciting, and I know you had a great group of women. So
We did.
It's fantastic. So tell us a few things that we need to know.
Well, first, I think you need to tell our listeners where we're coming from.
Oh, this is what happens when you come off a long weekend. Yes, we are coming to you live from the Wall Coffee Roasters in the heart of beautiful downtown Atchison. That's right. So if you hear a little bit of noise in the background, some coffee whirring machines, some children screaming. No, not really any children in
there
here
are
today.
children, but they're older.
They're
I don't
older.
think
I
they
don't
should
think they'll scream.
scream,
People talking. It's because we're live at the coffee shop.
We are.
And if you haven't been to the coffee shop, like we always say, you need to come to the Wall Coffee Roaster. You're trying a new tea.
African
today.
nectar. It's
African
delicious.
nectar.
Yes.
Wow. I never had that.
Highly recommend.
Okay, highly recommend the African nectar, but really the coffee. The coffee is what we recommend. Anyhow, tell us about some very important people.
We would like to thank our gold corporate sponsors, which include the MyShack Group of Companies, Genix, Parkland County, and Bow Valley Credit Union.
That's right. Without them, we would not be able to do what we do. So thank you very much for supporting us. We are coming up. What's the date today? The date today is May the 20th. Did you know that?
No.
Do you know what we're coming up to?
I sure do.
I'm so excited. We're coming
I
up
can't believe it.
to our 1 year podcast anniversary.
Can you believe it's almost
1
been a year?
That's like 52 episodes, maybe more, 53.
Probably more.
From like 0 listeners
Zero.
to
literally.
now 8,000 listeners worldwide.
I know.
The other day, we got a listener in New York City.
Incredible.
New York and Vietnam and
It's everywhere.
and Edmonton and everywhere. It's unbelievable. So, wow, I'm excited about that. So, hey, that's great. That's coming up. We'll talk more about that at another time. But today, I'm so excited about our guest.
Oh, Cam, this guest today, we got to know this individual, and she is fabulous.
We know her mom.
In fact,
and her dad.
Her mom was
a guest.
podcast guest.
That's right.
So for
if you can guess who it is,
yeah.
we'll give you a free cup of coffee. Anyway, yeah. So, anyway.
Our guest today is Mandy Quon.
Welcome, Mandy.
Welcome, Mandy.
So good to have you.
Thank you so much, Cam and Jennifer. I'm loving it here. Coffee is really good.
You like
Thank
coffee?
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
it's good.
Smooth. It's fresh.
Smooth. I like
I'm drinking
that.
it black.
So okay, yeah.
I can really.
You're a
taste the
purist.
aroma.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're a
that'll make
purist.
Michael happy.
That will, yeah.
She's a
Because if
coffee
you put,
purist.
yeah, Michael gets a little. If you put like cream in it or
No,
something,
I want to
he
taste
gets
it
all
black,
worked
so
up. Anyway,
it's
I put
amazing.
like buckets of cream in it, but that's just me. But
I
anyway,
know.
so good to have you.
Thank you.
This is awesome. Thank you for taking time out today to do this because I know you're taking time off work and stuff.
No
So,
worries.
so I appreciate it. It's great. So
Let's kick it off.
let's kick it off.
Mandy, tell us a little bit about where you were born and where you grew up. And this will come out with who
Yes,
the guest
who
was
your
on
mom
our
was. Yeah,
podcast.
but anyway, yeah. Where were you born?
I'm born locally here, well, in Edmonton, at the Royal Alex
Royal Alex Hospital.
Hospital
Yeah.
on Father's Day.
No.
Father's
Come on.
Day.
Exactly, Father's Day.
How does that go?
It
Is
was
that
Yeah.
Yeah? That's what a gift for your dad. What a beautiful gift.
It was also the Bay surprise. I think back then Bay had like surprise sales.
Yes,
or
that's
Bay days.
right. Bay days.
Yes, I was more on Bay Day.
You're-
A surprise sale.
So, okay, I don't think I want to go down that road. So, like, some family was off at Bay Day, with the exception of your mom's at the Royal Alec, getting deals while you're being born.
No, well, the story is that my mom was pushing me in the stroller. Not me. I guess someone else, like my brother.
Yeah,
in the stroller,
not you.
Miles,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
older brother.
Yeah.
And then she had to go to the hospital.
She's at the Bay?
You're shopping at the
She's
Bay.
shopping for Bay Day.
She's shopping on Bay Day, probably Kingsway Mall.
Yeah.
And then had to go to the Royal Alex.
Come on.
But because the restaurant was very busy,
Yes.
my dad never came to watch me get born.
'Cause he was at the
Because he was at the restaurant.
She was at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So that's why my mom tells
You're
me
a Bay Day
clearly
baby.
I'm a Bay Day baby
Yeah.
and Father's Day because my dad couldn't come.
Right. Wow. What a story. That's incredible.
I know.
So, what high school did you go to?
I went to Archbishop McDonald.
Come on.
Yes.
What was your high school mascot?
I have
Do you
no
remember?
idea.
You
I
have no-
wasn't athletic.
You were
Or maybe a bear?
What's that?
A bear?
A bear?
Oh, no, a titan? I don't know.
Who?
I don't know.
A Titan? I don't know. I
Why,
went
do
to
you know?
Rochep.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know your mascot.
Yeah, we were the Thunderbirds.
I know your mascot.
So yeah, okay, all right. So obviously you didn't care about your mascot.
She's like,
didn't
not
care.
athletic.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. So
So, Mandy, tell us a little bit about growing up, because your parents were both in the restaurant industry. Tell us a little bit about your family and growing up Quon.
you're a restaurant. Yeah, growing up Quon.
Growing up Quon, you kind of grow up alone. Your
Oh.
parents are always working.
Yeah.
So because my dad's schedule at the restaurant started at 3:30 p.m. to
Right.
about 10 p.m.
Right.
After school, we wouldn't see him.
Okay, I think we should just right here tell everybody what restaurant it is,
Yes.
because like people are like, well, the McDonald's, the Burger King. No, it's the
Lingnan.
Lingnan.
Yes.
the oldest Chinese restaurant in the city of Edmonton.
Yes, we are celebrating how many years, Cam? You know this better than
I was at the 75th.
So
and
78 now?
Yeah, 78. I think
Yeah,
we coming
78
into
years.
78 years.
Yes.
78 years. And folks, I'm just going to stop right here. Of the best Chinese food
Oh,
in the whole city.
amazing.
Unbelievable. It's the best. I've been there literally probably for like 55 years of my life. I've been going to Lingnan. Then when I moved away, every time I came back to the city, first place I went, Lingnan. Okay, so your parents own the Lingnan. You grew up in the Lingnan.
Yes, absolutely. In
Yeah.
the back of the Lingnan.
In the back.
Because we're not allowed to be in the front
No.
of the Lingnan.
So really, you had to hang out
It
in the
was
back.
back in the day, it was very strict.
Yeah.
Yes.
My father was very strict, and not in terms of like just the way the restaurant was ran.
Right.
And back in the day, only men were allowed to serve
Yes.
and
Yeah.
host in the front.
How many
So
siblings do you have?
I have two other brothers.
Two
I'm
other
the
brothers.
middle child.
You're the middle child. Okay.
Yes, I have an older brother and a younger brother.
Right.
And we're all exactly 18 months apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom did it fast.
Good timing.
Yes.
Yeah, good planning. Yeah. So you all three of you hung out in the back.
Oh, not all three of us. So I was the first one to get a job at the Lingnan.
Really?
Peeling pea pods,
Peeling pea pods.
answering phones.
Really?
So about 12 or 13 years old, we
Yeah.
were answering phones already.
Wow.
In the back.
Is that right? So you spent all your time school and the Lingnan.
Kind of. Like, I think after school, I remember walking home, minus 30.
Yeah,
We would
yeah.
walk home.
Yeah.
Sometimes my mom would have something, or we would make craft dinner or instant noodles.
Yeah.
But like I remember there's times where I haven't seen my dad for like 4 nights.
Is
nights.
that right?
Because he would work at 3:30.
Yeah.
Come home at 10.
Right.
So that's
Yes.
like the time we're at home.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And how was that? What was that like growing up in
You
the
know,
restaurant?
it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like, but I think it taught us a lot of, independence.
Mm-hmm.
How to like not get beat up by your brothers.
Okay.
My brothers were huge wrestling fans.
Were they?
Yeah.
And did you have to wrestle with them?
No, I was the person they would try moves on.
Oh.
So when like The Rock would do is it The Rock?
Yeah, The Rock.
Then when
Yeah.
The Rock would do a new move, like
He
they would
tried
try
on
on
you.
me.
Really?
Yeah, like Hulk Hogan had a move, they would try it on me.
Okay. So I'm not going to say you were an abused child, but did you fight back?
Well, I would just call my mom sometimes.
I would call my mom. I love it. I would call my mom.
I mean, they were physically stronger than me.
Yeah.
But I was stronger in every other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was smarter, for sure.
Well, that's a given, I think.
Right.
Yeah, for
Brighter.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So after you graduated high school, what did you do? Where did you go?
After I graduated high school, we all went to university, but we actually started working very young. Like my first job was 13 years old at the Lingnan.
Yeah.
And then by 15, I think grade 10, I got my first real job at the library. I was a student page.
Oh.
Are you kidding? I was a
you're student page
page
too?
at Woodcroft, Westmount. At
Okay.
Westmount Library, Woodcroft Library. I was a page in high school.
I was a page in high school.
Were
and
you really?
The rate was $5.95.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe you were at $3 if I was at $5.
I was probably at $2. I was like when you just did it for free. No, I didn't
was
do it for free.
volunteering, yeah.
But I did learn the Dewey Decimal System.
I do too.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
which-
a very good student page. I cleaned the books really well. I ran the summer reading program.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't work with you. You'd have just shown me up. Like I'm going to confess right here today. There were times I would just put the books wherever because I was just. I was just. Anyway,
Librarians everywhere are just
I
gasping
know,
in
cringing
horror.
right now.
Yes.
The older lady. Well, they're probably passed on that I worked with, but sometimes I just did.
Yeah, it was a great job.
But it was a good job,
Yeah, I
wasn't it?
loved
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
I liked it. Yeah. Okay, so you were a page in the library.
Page in the library. I think it was like 10 to 12 hours a week.
Yeah.
And then I would still work at the Lingnan on the weekends to
Okay.
answer phones. So sometimes on a Saturday, it would be a double shift.
Right.
Work library from, remember, 10 to 6
Yeah,
or 10
yeah,
to 4.
yeah.
And then I would get a ride or drive. I drove really early to drive probably to the Lingnan and answer phones till like
Really?
8. Yeah.
Wow. How is that growing up? You worked a lot.
We
Did
worked
you have
a
a lot
lot.
of friends? Did you
No, we had-
have a big social life?
I
or-
had enough friends. I wouldn't say I had like a huge social life.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Obviously, you heard earlier, I was not part of any sports team.
Right.
Because I didn't have time.
Yeah,
don't
well,
have
yeah, I was going to
time.
say, how
You're
would you have
working.
time to
I was
do any
working.
of that? Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, so you worked at the library.
Yep.
And
And
then you.
What did I? Oh, then I had a bunch of other smaller jobs.
Yeah.
In between,
Okay.
while going through university.
U of A?
Yes, at
So
the
you
U of
went to U of A. What
So
were you taking?
I was taking Chinese history combined with sociology.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, East Asian. It was an East
Yeah,
Asian
yeah.
minor
Wow.
and a sociology major.
Incredible. Yeah, okay.
And I did it in 3.5 years.
Wow. So you are the smarter
No,
child.
I was just. I don't know why. I mean, this is not the advice I would give to my younger self. But I took every single spring and summer starting in high school.
Oh.
So if you start in high school,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you start taking
Yes.
summer,
Yeah.
then you're actually done in 3.5 years.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
But for what? No
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, just to get through.
Just
I
to
guess.
Just to
it.
say you graduated.
Yeah. So you graduated with a
Bachelor of Arts.
A Bachelor of Arts with a minor in sociology and Asian studies.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
And what were you going to do with that? What
Not
was your?
sure.
You weren't sure.
I was going to do nothing, actually. It was really unclear.
Were you? Obviously, a person of direction.
Yeah.
Were you? Were you going to like work in the restaurant?
No,
Use your
absolutely
Asian
not.
studies at the Lingnan, or how are you going to?
Well, so my parents, I know a lot of people think, Asian parents are tiger parents. They want their kids typically to be
Yeah.
lawyers, doctors,
Right.
surgeons, specialists,
Yeah.
accountants, and pharmacists for
Yeah.
their daughters.
Right.
But my parents weren't like that.
Okay.
My parents were really like, do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
They were strict in a lot of ways and put it together really good values like
Yes.
be generous,
Right, right.
be honest,
Yeah.
work hard. But they never actually said to be successful, you have to have a certain degree
Right.
or designation.
So they just let you
Just
do
let me
what
do whatever I
follow
want.
wanted. Okay. So you graduated from U of A, did whatever you want. Now what?
And then a couple of years ago, I actually went back to school.
Really?
And I finished a master's of philanthropy and not-for-profit leadership from Carleton University.
From Carleton.
Yes, I decided to go back to school in my 40s because I thought the first time around I didn't try hard enough. So I thought I would try again.
Somebody who finishes school in 3.5 years, I think you
didn't try
tried pretty hard.
hard
Yeah. Should have done it in 2 years. Yeah. Wow. So you went to Carleton.
Yes.
And you got a degree in philanthropy.
Yes. That's
Why?
So great.
Well, so at the same time, my current position, I'm the assistant dean for the Faculty in Native Studies
Right.
and the Dean of Students Office,
Right.
which is a fundraising role.
Okay.
So I've been fundraising for about 10 years and I want to just do more.
Yeah.
And understanding philanthropy and how the not-for-profit world works is a big part of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So that's interesting because both Jennifer and I, we come out of the nonprofit world.
Neat.
That's
We
where
do.
we came from. And sort of what was your, like,
your why.
Yeah, your why. What was your driving
Because we
force
know
behind?
fundraising's not a.
Yeah, people think it's easy. It's not an easy job. So
Well, I think like most people, they fall into it.
Yeah.
They don't know,
Yeah.
and I didn't know. And so I was hired at the university to be responsible for their key accounts for corporations.
Right.
And for my previous role, I worked at Fairmont Hotels and Resorts for a long time.
Okay.
For about 10 years.
Yeah.
And my role there was key account holder director
Okay.
for accounts as well.
Right.
So the skills were transferable.
Right.
But this time it came with an ask for
Right.
funding.
Right.
And slowly I honed in my skill set, and I can say after 10 years I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it took a long time.
Sure.
Yeah, the first few years
Yeah.
was really a grind.
yeah, there is an art and a
there's
skill
an
to
art.
it.
Oh, there
yeah,
sure is.
yeah.
And then you just have to get used to it. But I think most importantly for people in the fundraising world is instead of chasing the goal or the number
Yeah.
or dollar signs, you continue to chase your activity every day.
Right.
Which is, reaching out to people, talking about your cause,
Right.
being kind and being genuine,
Yeah.
and getting to know the other person and where they lie and where their values are.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, right?
It's all about relationship. We know that.
Absolutely,
It's
we
all
know
about
that.
relationship. So yeah. Wow, that's incredible. That's really amazing. Now, I creeped you a little bit, so I'm just going to be straight up on Facebook and Instagram.
I don't
and
have Facebook.
What's
Did you know that?
what? Well, I was creeping you somewhere. Oh, I just Googled you.
Oh, okay.
I Googled you.
Google.
I have a Wikipedia page.
I saw.
That's crazy.
And,
Why would
and I
I-
also saw that you were featured in some magazines. Front page.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, tell
Yeah.
us about that.
Yeah. So
So the Edify magazine now, a
Yeah.
dozen years ago, used to be Avenue magazine.
Yes, it did.
So I was
yeah.
featured on there. And actually, a couple months ago, my mom was featured.
yeah, she was.
So
Yeah.
I said to my mom all the time, "You're also on the cover, but 12 years after me."
That's right. You came first.
I came first for the
that's
first
right.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
So were you one of the top 40 under 40?
No, it was actually for a TV show that our family did.
Oh,
so the Quon
yes.
Dynasty, and I think it was something like reality TV show Eats Meets West.
Okay, let's talk about that because
Let's
you
talk
don't
about
meet
that.
many people who have been on a reality
No.
TV show, and your family was Quon Dynasty. Is that
Yes.
correct? Tell us about that. What was it like having a camera in your face all the time?
No, I have to say that reality TV show is actually real. Like
Really? Like
no,
it's really reality.
It's really reality.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't get scripted.
Yeah.
We just kind of do what we want. We do have a plan because they just can't film for
Sure.
like nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
So they come, but the plan is that like discuss together.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, what are you doing this May long weekend, for example? And you tell them, and they're like, okay, well, can we come with you?
And how was that?
It was a really fantastic opportunity.
Yeah.
Because as you heard earlier, we didn't spend a lot of time together as a family.
Sure.
But now with the TV show, we had to spend time together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. But
Yeah.
it was, so I really enjoyed the time spent together with the family.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
I thought that was really good. What I love seeing is my dad's personality shifted a bit. He came on the show.
yeah.
I mean, Cam, I know you know him well.
Yeah, yeah.
He's quite quiet now.
Yeah.
But he was even more quiet before
Is
the
that
TV
right?
show.
Eh? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's amazing. Well, I want to, because I just want to go back to it a little bit because I think your education and what you're doing. Do you view yourself as a woman in a leadership role? Like, do you see yourself as a mentor to other women? Do you see yourself as somebody who leads other women and encourages other women to pursue their dreams? Because you've obviously pursued some of your dreams.
I probably wouldn't use the word leadership.
Right.
Because I think leadership gives a more of a hierarchical position.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of young females I meet I'm learning a lot from as well.
Right.
So what I think I like to use the term is how are we using our privilege today in our network and what we know to help others.
Right.
Yes. More of a helping hand.
Yeah.
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 That's amazing.
It is amazing. What have been the toughest parts of being a woman in, I guess, leadership? Let's just use that word.
Okay.
What have been some of the toughest avenues of that?
Toughest avenues, I think, for being in a women leadership role is sometimes being younger, you're not taken as seriously.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that, as younger women, they're just a little bit unsure where they fit in. I remember going to my first golf tournament, and I didn't even show up with the right clubs. And I was paired up with a law firm of lawyers, white
yeah,
male
yeah.
lawyers
Yes.
who were buddies with each other.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know how to fit in. But then you finally read the room a little bit, and you finally try to fit in.
Right.
And you engage in conversation. And I think the longer you do, these sort of uncomfortable things in your life, it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure. Do you still golf?
I pretend to golf.
I
Yes.
pretend- You should go. You want to come to our golf tournament? I got a spot. You want to come? I'm putting you on the spot on our podcast. You want to?
I can only come if my ball doesn't count. Like if you.
Oh yeah, no. Your ball doesn't count at all. No.
Good.
Okay, I'm putting you on our. I'm putting
No,
you on
but I
our
don't
team.
know. Actually, I don't.
I'll give
really
you the
remember how
date.
it was
We'll
golf.
figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be great to have you there. I think it'd be great for you to represent the university.
So I have another question.
Yeah.
So Mandy, tell us about what it's like, because you are working for the Indigenous faculty, but you're not Indigenous. Tell us about that.
So I'm still the assistant dean for the Faculty of Native Studies.
Yeah.
I've been there for 5 years.
5 years.
And I absolutely love my job.
Yeah.
What is it like? I think a lot of the values that we grew up with being Chinese is the same, in a cultural setting. Like the reciprocation, respecting our elders, and just being kind and knowing each other deeply.
Right.
When we say we know each other or build relationships, we don't mean just go for coffee and all of a sudden,
superficial.
Yeah, that's
all of a
right.
sudden you have one coffee, you can ask for a bunch of
Right.
things.
Right.
Not in our culture, and not in the First Nations like
Right.
Métis
Right,
Inuit culture.
right, yeah.
It is being there to really support people and listen to their stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's phenomenal.
I do too.
Yeah, I think that's really cool because people, and I know people a lot of times when they think of philanthropy or raising money, they think it's easy to just phone up people and ask for, can you help us? Do you want to help us? Little do people realize in the philanthropy world, there are, I don't even want to put a number to it, but so many people asking for money.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
you're not, I don't know if competing is the right word, but a
Kind
lot of
of.
them, yeah, kind of just ask for money and they're gone. But I love what you're saying about building a relationship.
It's all about building relationships, but also build it in a way where that person really resonates.
Yeah.
Just because you have 100 cups of coffee with that person, you take them out to events or
Yeah.
dinners, it doesn't mean that person will give you
Right.
the money.
Yes.
Right.
So one of the key aspects I've been doing this is I only hang out with donors or cultivate the relationship, we like to call it, if I
Yeah.
like the person.
Okay.
If I don't like the person, it doesn't matter if this
Yeah.
person has $1 billion to
Right,
give.
yeah.
It would just end up being a transaction.
Yeah.
And I don't want a transaction. I
Right.
want a relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't chase the dollars. I only chase if I like that person, because if the money doesn't come in, at least I'm having a great time.
Yeah. I love it.
And you're always
That's
learning
amazing.
from each other.
I think that's great. I wish I would have known that sometimes because I hung out with a few people I didn't like, and
Right.
so
Especially early on.
Yeah, early on because you
Right.
just think I need the dollars
Yeah.
type of thing, and at the end of the day, you didn't walk away with anything, or if you did,
Or
there
it's
was
one
always
time and it's never coming back,
or
or
mega
big
strings
strings
attached, which
yes.
that I didn't like
No.
at all.
Mega
So-
strings attached that will cost the organization
Right.
more work.
Yes.
And they
Yeah.
want everything for the amount of donation.
Yeah.
Which is
100%.
not a donation anymore.
Yeah.
No, it's
yeah.
not.
Yeah, one thing I love about you and that I see in you is you take after your mom. And I believe your mom has that same philosophy. We've had your mom on the podcast. She just believes in building relationships.
Yes,
She
absolutely.
does.
Yeah, the Lingnan, in my opinion, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think a big part of its success is she builds relationships with people. And you followed in those footsteps in your career, but also I believe as a person.
Yes.
So I think that's pretty incredible.
My mom always taught us really early on is to build that relationship first and to give more and never expect.
Yeah.
And good things will come back to you in other ways. So same with the fundraising role. You can call and call, meet
Yeah.
and meet, and it may not be that person, but one day you'll get a call and someone wants to donate that you've never met.
Yeah.
So I feel that activity, you do so much activity, eventually it rewards you in different ways.
Right. It's cool.
So tell us a little bit about your own family, because you're married, you have children.
Well, yeah, I love to chat.
They are so cute.
I love to chat about my family.
Yeah.
So very interesting. I was actually divorced. So my new little family is very new.
Right.
And Victoria and Lincoln, they're not my biological kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something that I don't think a lot of people know.
Yeah.
So I was divorced probably 7 years ago, let's
Okay,
say.
yeah.
And my husband at that time was he's still a very good person. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And I remember going back home telling my parents, that I was getting a divorce. I was so scared because they always said he was a great guy. They loved him like a son.
Yeah.
Best man ever.
Right.
And I remember walking to my mom's house on a Saturday morning, and I was scared to tell her.
Right.
Because of what she would think.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think in our Chinese community, we're still more traditional.
Right.
Yes.
And there's still some shame with getting a divorce.
Yeah.
So I walked in there and told him flat out, I moved out for 5 days, now I'm getting a divorce.
Right.
And my dad was very special. My dad says, you know what? He doesn't say much. He's like, I'm really proud of you.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, proud of a divorce? He's like, no, I'm proud that I've raised a daughter that can walk away when she knows it's not right for her.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's that's incredible.
So then it
Yeah.
shifted. My mom, because I know my mom's a bit more
Yeah,
traditional.
yeah.
My mom shifted and says, you know what, Mandy? I have a crown full of jewels, and I'll give you my entire crown. You do what you want in your life.
Wow.
And I was like shocked.
Yeah.
Because I thought I would have to justify myself.
Right.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
why
yeah,
I wanted a divorce.
Wow.
But they didn't ask me to justify.
Unconditional love.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
And
wow.
during the divorce, the process is never clear.
Yeah,
No,
never easy.
it
And
never is.
No.
when I would complain to my parents, my dad would be like, well, tell me what it is. I'll solve it.
Yeah.
If it's money, we'll get rid of it with money. Like,
Yeah.
what do you need to get rid of this person
Yeah.
that's causing you stress?
I love Kimon. I just love him. The guy's the best.
So I think for me, I didn't realize this until, way early on in my late 30s that,
Yeah.
wow, my parents are really quite, what is that word? Quite progressive in
Yeah.
their thinking and not as old-fashioned as I thought.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they are progressive just from a business perspective for sure. I think they're but to hear this, it gives me not only a deeper respect for you, but also for them as well. And I love them and I think they're amazing. Wow.
And I think as a child, and I think we can both attest to this, as can you never want to disappoint your parents.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Right? That's always the fear. Is
Yeah.
you're going to walk in and tell them something, and
Yeah.
you're going to disappoint them.
Yeah.
It's not even anger. It's that disappointment.
And what a beautiful response from your parents.
Absolutely.
Could have gone the other way, and it didn't.
I was
So-
really worried. 'cause
Yeah,
we spent
yeah.
a lot of money on this wedding.
Yeah. I know. It's like,
Well, so I married East Indian, and we had a 4-day, 600 people wedding
yeah,
that my,
yeah,
my
yeah.
parents
Yeah.
and my ex's parents paid for.
Yeah.
So very kind family, very
Yeah, yeah.
generous, and I just felt horribly ashamed
Yeah.
that this was happening.
Right.
And fast forward, that's gone.
Yeah.
And then I reacquainted with my current partner, Andy, and we dated back in high school.
Oh, high school
school,
sweethearts.
high school sweethearts.
Come
Yeah.
on now. Okay.
And he has 2 little kids, and
Yeah.
at that point, very little, like maybe
Yeah.
2 and 4, 2 and 3, really small.
Yeah.
And again, I was worried. Like now, I'm getting myself into another relationship with
Instamom.
with little
Yes.
kids.
Instamom.
Yes, and my mom's old fashioned again, and my mom probably thinks like Cinderella, Snow White, like in her brain, like evil stepmother.
Yeah. Yes.
And you know what? My mom and my dad are so welcoming to Andy and his kids that
Yeah.
we're like one big happy family.
Well, I've watched you, so I've observed you at the restaurant when you're there with your family. And first of all, I'm going to say this: you are an amazing mom,
Thank you.
and your kids are amazing. They come over to the table, and they are smarter than all. They're smarter than me. This is what they're brilliant. They're just your daughters are brilliant, but I've also watched your mom. And the best part is when you walk away to go wherever, what you're going to do, and they're there, I've watched your mom like reach into her pocket and pull out money and just like peel off bills to them. And then she comes over to our table and says, don't tell anybody. So, whoops, I guess I told what I wasn't supposed to, but I just say, she's the greatest.
My mom gives all the kids $20 every time she sees them, every single time.
Wow.
And then $50 if it's special occasion.
Can you adopt
Yeah,
us?
wait.
We'd like to be adopted.
And then the other day she showed up at the house and she gave us each $100.
Yeah.
And I said, for what? She's like, long weekend. Long weekend.
And here's the thing. With your mom, I know it's not about the money.
It isn't.
It's about the love.
Yeah.
And it's about the giving.
And the generosity.
Yeah, and it's so awesome to watch. And it's awesome to watch you as a family. And now that you've told us your story, part of which we didn't know,
No.
I'm in awe of you. I really am.
Thank you.
I think you're amazing. And we're almost out of time. But
We have
We
one
have one
final
more question.
Mandy, what is the best piece of advice you've been given, either personally or professionally, that you carry with you to this day?
The best piece of advice is to always be kind and transparent. And not be someone that you're unable to follow through with.
Right.
And keep that. I know a lot of people say, be authentic. But I think even more so being authentic as the way you feel outward, but being true to what really speaks to you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't last long if
Yeah.
you're trying to be someone that you're not.
Yeah, true.
And that's everything. I think
Very
for
true.
women, looks is one thing. Trying to keep up with fashion, trying to, chase a dream.
Yeah.
Which you should continue to chase, but only chase it if it truly makes you happy and not for anyone else.
Yeah.
Amazing. She's just, I could sit here.
Yeah,
And
we
talk to
could
her
go on
for
for another
hours.
hour for sure. I know we could. And again, Mandy, you're successful. You're brilliant. I just love listening to you. I love when we're together because you're just so full of life and wonderful. I love your family. And now that I know a little bit more of the story, we know a little bit more of the story. I just have to say, I'm just so happy you're in my life. I just think it's awesome.
Yeah, this has been great.
Yeah.
Like new friends, old friends,
Yeah.
long-lasting
Yeah,
friendships. Right
that's
here.
it. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having
We
me.
appreciate it. Yep. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And both of them.
Absolutely. And wonderful people. And Mandy is just an amazing person. And I think she's just incredible in life, in academics, in leadership, all of those
I'm
things.
already thinking my women in leadership panel next year.
Thinking for next year, yeah. So that was really great. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We really appreciate it. And hey, make sure that you tell people about the podcast. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your coworkers. If you don't have any friends, make one. You can even tell your enemies about our podcast.
And subscribe.
Subscribe.
And you won't miss an episode.
Absolutely. So thanks everybody.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
See you next time. Bye-bye.